All right, hi. So in this video, we're going to go over some strategies on how to multiply whole numbers by unit fractions, or vice versa, since multiplication works that way. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first thing that we can do is use repeated addition. So what does that mean? That means, as we know with multiplication, it means that we have a certain amount of groups of something, and so if we can add those together, just like if I had 5 times 2, I could add 2 5 times and find out that that's 10. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 10. Did I do that 5 times? All right, so we could write this out as 5 times 1/4 is the same thing as 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And that equals, again, what do we know about addition and fractions? We know we add the numerators together and the denominator doesn't change. Why doesn't the denominator change? Go ahead, tell me. Okay, some of you got it wrong, but the other you got it right. Right. So the denominator doesn't change because that's just the size of the pieces, right? So we're looking at fourths here. The fourth doesn't change. We're just trying to figure out how many fourths do we have, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fourths. Okay, we can rewrite this since this is an improper fraction. We don't have to, but we can rewrite it. We take out 1 whole, which is how many fourths is 1 whole? 4 fourths, you're right. So if we take out 1 whole, which is 4 fourths, that gives us 1/4 left over. So 5 fourths is the same as 1 and 1/4. So again, this is ways to prove your thinking that, oh, I just multiply the 5 and the 1 together and get 5. Okay, we want to think about things and how they look and how they are, and we want to process it. We don't just want to skip to the end, okay? Because skipping to the end in mathematics can lead to really big misunderstandings, right? So this is one way. Let's check out another way. All right, so here we're going to chunk things, chunkies. So you want to look at a number. So if I look at 1/4 and 5, it's really kind of hard for me to think about what is that? What does that look like? But I know that 5 is made up of different combinations of whole numbers and decimals and all that stuff. But we just want to stay in whole numbers right now. What do I know that 5 is I know it's 2 plus 3 is 5. Does that help me with 1/4? 1/4 of 3, 1/4 of 2. 1 and 4. Would 1/4 of, yeah, there we go. So what you can do is you can break your whole number into chunks that make it easier to think about, okay? So I can say that 1/4 times 5 is the same thing as 1/4 times 4 plus 1/4 times 1. All right, those are the same things. Right, those are equal. Okay, how does that help me out? Well, 1/4 of 4, I should know that that's a simple calculation because 1/4 of 4 is 4 divided by 4, and that is 1. 1/4 times 1, that is a simple calculation because anything times 1 is itself. So this is 1 plus 1/4, and that equals the same thing we got up there, 1 and 1/4. So we have 2 strategies right now. Use repeated addition. Another strategy, chunk. All right, let's look at another. All right, so the next one is half of a half is a quarter. Ooh, fun. So anytime you see 1/4 and you're multiplying, anytime you see 1/4 with a whole number, you can take a half of a half, and that gives us 1/4. And so, like I've been saying all year, is we should be able to do halves. Okay, we should look at anything and be able to take it apart to half. And so again, if this is something that you struggle with, understanding halves, you just need your brain, a piece of paper, and a calculator or the internet. Okay, and then you practice this because you think about what it is, and then you figure out using technology if you're right. You look for patterns, all that good stuff. So let's go. So 1/4 of 5. So 1/4 times 5. So what I can start doing is I can first go, what's 1/2 of 5? That equals, let's see, 2.5. And again, we're dealing with fractions right now, so I'm not going to write 2.5. I'm just going to do 2.5. And now I want to say, what is 2.5 times a half? Or what's a half of 2.5? Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. What's half of 2.5? Half of 2 is 1. Half of a half is, 1/4. All right, so half of a half is 1/4. You can think of it this way too. If this was 2.5, so here, if this was 2.5 and I was wanting to know what was half of that, all right, that would equal 1 25/100, which is 1 1/4. All right, because remember there's a 0 here, 50, so half of 50 is 25. All right, half of a half is a quarter. So again, if we have quarter, we can do half of the number and then half of that, and that gets us down to our quarter. All right. I think there's one more. Hold on. All right, now I'm not going to go over the last one. I think it would be too confusing just looking at it. And so, what are the 3 ways? Think about it. What are they? See if you can remember them. What are the 3 different ways to solve it? Don't look at your notes. Don't do it if you took notes. Did you get them? Use repeated addition. What's the other one? Chunk it up. Make it even simpler. What's the other one? Half of a half is a quarter. So if we have that 1/4. All right. So these are some things you can think about as you live your life of multiplying whole numbers and fractions. There's a game to play called Target 1, which we'll go over as a class how to play that as well. All right. Toodaloo.